Okay then, Helldivers, we are back and we've got loads to go over today as Twinbeard's been taken to Discord to talk about the 60-day plan a little bit further. On top of that, we've got some confirmation on vehicles that we need to go over, and we're going to talk about the next big patch update. This may not exactly be what you want it to be, but nonetheless, it's the information that we've got at hand. So with that being said, if you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. And check out our sponsor Instant Gaming, the platform where you can buy your video games cheaper for PC and consoles with the best deals, offers, promotions and discounts, all running up to 70% off. It's an absolute no-brainer. So click down on the link in the description and get your games a little bit cheaper today. But with that starting off, let's see what it is that's happening inside of the Reddit right now, as a post seems to have gone absolutely viral as it holds the two dearest things to most of your hearts. That's right, Helldivers 2 and Wolverine. Absolutely makes no sense, but the post itself looks pretty much like it's nailing it on the head, with obviously Wolverine laying down looking at a post for Helldivers 2 on launch, and that was pretty much the good days. It doesn't seem to get much better than when the game actually launched, and unfortunately this is what we are left with. For those of you guys who are Chaos Divers, it seems that a load of people are working on current designs for capes, not that it will ever materialize inside of the game based on the factor of the review bomb cape, but it states right here, new cape concept for the notorious fan faction. Design came out a little bit by accident, this time less edge, more straight to the heart flavor text. And it was kind of one of those. It looks pretty damn cool. I really like the consensus of it, and I think that it holds a lot with regards to the time period. But unfortunately, with a lot of these capes and stuff like that, they all seem to represent the negative sides of what happens inside of Helldivers. Therefore, the likelihood is they're not going to inject them into the game. We're still waiting on the review bomb cape, which is obviously going to happen once we get a resolution or some sort of confirmation exactly on the Sony drama, but that's not looking to be anytime soon either. So yeah, this one's going to be a bloody difficult one, that's for sure. But Twinbeard approached a comment inside of the Discord with regards to the 60-day plan, and it wasn't really exactly what we wanted, but at the same time, we know exactly what it is that's happening now. He states right here, thanks for the trust. Also, and this is not making excuses, just offering some context. It's easy to forget that things take time. Regardless of what has happened before, fixing things is a process. Even if we had all the resources in the world, we can't just press a fix all button. The 60-day plan is something we hope can work for both us and the players. It puts pressure on us to plan and be able to show improvements after the set time period, while at the same time letting us take a step back and regroup. And yes, completely fair to it. I do think that the 60-day plan is probably not the worst thing to come out of the woodworks. I do think that there is a lot of pressure on the end of those 60 days, because I think for a lot of players it might well be the final curtain drawn, so we'll see exactly how that one pans out. But I'm not too sure that the game is going to be exactly what you guys are thinking either, mainly because we have had some confirmation on the areas around vehicles. Well, we've seen a lot of them in the in-game files, and due to leaks and stuff like that, with these things not being hidden in the in-game files, have obviously surfaced onto social media, of which this is probably why you should never really look at leaks too much, because Twinbeard states right here, no idea, and AFAIK, there is no confirmed vehicles on the horizon either. Regardless, one thing I do know is that stuff related to the mechs and or possible vehicles is the thing our leads have been talking about publicly, and they're working on tweaking memory usage in the game engine. I know that there are issues where we can have too many units or too much stuff on the map at the same time. So obviously it states right here that there is no confirmation on vehicles on the horizon either, of which I would be extremely disappointed about. I kind of hoped that there would be. It would make the game a lot more intriguing when the mechs came into play. For those of you guys who remember, it was such an enjoyable moment, especially the way that we actually obtained them. But we'll have to see exactly how it is that they go through the game files and work it into the game at a later date, if that seems to be something that is coming up. But at the moment, as it stands, maybe don't get your hopes up so much on any leaked images that you do see online. And for those of you guys wondering about the balance patch, there is actually a full confirmation here coming from Twinbid. As somebody said, do you think a balance patch is in the near future or far? Doesn't want an exact date, just wants a rough time period to know when it is that he can return to the game. And Twinbid restates back, we rarely talk specific dates for updates, but I don't think that there's any big one coming up. Right now, we're very focused on gathering our strength after summer vacay, finalizing our 60-day plan and working on improvements. There's of course a lot of work going on to the same time in various areas, but still we want to make sure that we're aligned and ideally more stable before launching bigger updates in the near future, smaller stuff possibly. And that's again a little bit confusing because he states at the end there that it'll be smaller stuff possibly, but I'd kind of like to hope that there is definitely going to be smaller stuff on a week by week basis. I think the best thing for these guys to do is probably not to release a mega patch anytime soon, but keep the regular updates coming, maybe 2 a week, and just keep posting them through in the work that they're doing so that they know that whatever it is that they're working on isn't going to break the files whatsoever. If we can get 1 to 2 updates per week, not only is it going to gradually increase and get better, but it just definitely cannot dramatically get worse. With a mega patch, we all know the more you add in, the worse it can come back. So it's going to be an interesting one to say the least, but no big mega patch are going to be coming soon at all. And when we look at everything else, he states right here that there have been lots of hints or even straight out replies on upcoming and or planned stuff recently. Let's see, possibly more customization, possibly loadouts, possibly emote wheels, most likely a requisition system and or alternatives for using surplus resources, probably a color mod system for armors, definitely expanded external beta testing, and probably CF reinforcements in some shape or form. And we've said before, overall a lot of work on tech stability, bug fixing, and content such as streams, vlogs, and blogs, etc. Which is a lot to work on, and it is definitely a lot to work on. For me, I'm really intrigued by the color mod system for the armor, as well as having the beta testing, which should work out quite well if they load it in pretty damn soon. More customization is always a decent posting, but things like loadouts, emote wheels, and stuff like that, all pretty low grade stuff considering the amount of content we've got in the game right now, and probably not something people would be too excited about. I think that the main requisition system though for and alternatives for surplus resources would be probably the biggest thing to come out of any patch update, because at the moment people are having a lot of problems, but they need to keep this game as stable as possible before we move into the point where they can start putting those things in, because unfortunately the game does not seem to be in the most stable areas. And there's actually one big bug that's going around at the moment that a lot of you guys may be suffering with, as was some dude that actually posted at Twinbid stating right here, Shams Rajani, I literally can't play my favorite game anymore. I've always dived on Helldive and never got booted, almost never. Now every game since Escalation I can't play. Takes me black screen, then to my ship. Will this ever be fixed, or I can't play anymore? It's been weeks and I still get booted every single game. Very uncool, and I need press democracy. I need that itch scratched, and I don't want to go back to drugs. Lol, help someone out. That is crazy. Very crazy. But Shams responded with, hey, we think we've discovered this problem. There's a bug with language selection menu. If you set your PlayStation 5 language to English, it should work. We will fix this in the upcoming patch. So if you guys are having that problem, please do make sure that you at least give that one a check out. It may well just work. But going into yesterday's video where we have the top comments, it seems to be a very good one. This one is hilarious. Actually, the first comment is not even relatable to the game and more to myself, and I find it quite intriguing, but it states right here, is it just me or does he sound exhausted? As far as the edit goes, forgot I posted this on the internet where people get butthurt over everything. I was kind of just posting this to acknowledge the fact that I thought he sounded exhausted. Now, at the moment, as it stands, I'm currently in Lanzarote. I've taken a bit of time away. We took a few days out just to go and chill out, but make sure that we can still upload at least one video a day for you guys to make sure the content is still going up. We're going to the end of the summer break, so children are all going back to school and things will resume their normal schedule very soon. But yeah, it's been a tiring 6 weeks and we're all good on this end. Thank you so much for asking. But as we move in to the next comment right here, it states the more the CEO and CCO post over this past week, the more it really likes there's a major disconnect between them and the actual team doing stuff in the game. And I think that actually this is a solid point. It's a really big one, and I think it's something a lot of people can agree with. I really don't understand what it is that's going on with that dynamic, and I can only hope that it's just a bit of a cross-wire situation and a bit of miscommunication. But you are right, the CEO and the CCO over the last week or so seem like they're just not connected to their team whatsoever, which I'm definitely going to be wrong about because I know what the integrity is like over there as far as Arrowhead goes. But I'd like to hope that there's a little bit more communication between the team as it stands. And the final comment that got top comment right here that states, please don't advertise / normalize more microtransactions for the stores. It's such a breath of fresh air to have a good game which doesn't force them down your throat. Now, I do agree with this in some regard. I completely agree with the fact that we don't like heavy microtransactions. Although in the same breath, though, I think when these things don't really change the game for you, they don't really have much of a heavy impact for you. I think when they are solely down to the cosmetic run through of what it is that your character looks like, I really want to have the availability of more items in the store. That may just be me. It may not be something that is a common ground between gamers. That's absolutely fine. You don't have to agree with me on it. But I do think that microtransactions are not a bad thing. And I think depending on how you look at them, I think that the gaming community unfortunately does blow it way out of proportion when it comes to microtransactions. And I just don't think that they're as bad as what you say they are. Unfortunately, that's obviously a disagreement on your post, but I think that realistically, as long as they keep it down the customization route, I've got absolutely no problem with them putting in more armor sets for us to utilize, or even skins for weapons intel. So that's my opinion on that one. Let me know your guys' ones in the comment section below. Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for today, though. Thank you so much again for watching, guys. If you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe, post notifications turned on. Appreciate your faces, and I'll see you in the clouds.